vendors that also attend and report. We are grateful for our new city manager. We pray for him that things will go well and he'll be able to adapt quickly to how wonderful a city this is and the things that he can do to contribute and help with us. We pray that I would have Thy Spirit to be with us this evening, that we will respect one another's opinions and comments, and that we as a city council might make righteous decisions on behalf of the citizens that have elected us. And we thank the Heavenly Father for this wonderful city of Tokerville and those that live in it. And we do so in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen. Thanks, Wayne. Thanks, Gary. If you can see, Todd is on the screen. Todd had a knee replacement, so we excuse him to hang out and get feeling better. But we're glad he's here with us, and we'll be getting his input as we go through this evening. All right, I'd like to start with the approval of the agenda, order, and any declaration of conflict.
Mayor, I'd make a motion to approve the order of the agenda.
Second.
A motion and a second. Any opposed? All approved? Any opposed? Are we good? We'll just go with it.
Yeah, thanks. Aye.
All approved?
Aye.
Any opposed? Matt, good to see you. All right. Any conflicts on anybody?
Nope. Negative.
Perfect. All right, we're gonna move down to consent agenda. Review and possible approval of meeting minutes from August 21st, 2024 city council meeting.
I'll go ahead and approve those. Recommend that we go ahead and approve those minutes for August 22nd, 2024 city council meeting.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion on the minutes? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, we're going to get right into reports. We have quite a few reports to give this evening. We're going to start off with Ash Creek Special Service District representative. So we have the man of the house, Mike himself is here. Matt is also here. So Matt, if Mike screws up, you'll correct him. So Matt, what do we have?
Well, thank you for that introduction. Flattering. I think as we talked just before the meeting a little bit about a lot of the action that's taking place right now in the district around the borders of the city. Actually, we do have a fair bit of work going on down at Confluence Park. If you haven't had a chance to swing by there, we've got Baker Concrete down there, one of the largest concrete contractors in the nation, throwing down roughly 450 yards a week of concrete. And those basins are going up very quickly. So the landscape is changing quickly. Things are coming up. The plant is progressing well. We're still a little behind schedule. We got a little bit of a late start on our program, but we still are holding to our late 2025 completion date as of right now. So things are running well that way. We continue to work with the district on our reuse plan. We received an additional $300,000 in grant funding from the state of Utah for our effluent building and the tertiary filtrations that reduces our overall cost of the project. That's in addition to an initial $1.6 million that the state had given to us. There was an appropriation of a certain amount of money that went out last December for Southern Utah reuse projects. And that's when we received that initial $1.7 million. One of the drop projects further north was pulled off the table, and the Division of Water Quality saw fit to grant and split those funds between ourselves and Cedar City, the two treatment plant applicants, which always makes us smile when we get the money, as opposed to building reservoirs like the Conservancy District in St. George, and we get to rub their nose in it a little bit. But we're happy that we got that additional support from the state. Right now, we're kind of being stretched at all ends. Some of you are aware there's efforts to develop new leads and things that work in conjunction with the expansion of the Firelight project to the west. We have ongoing meetings there to try to coordinate expansion of our system out into those both incorporated and unincorporated areas of the county. We continue with our plans for the pipeline up to Virgin as well. We're getting closer on that. Our BLM clearances, we're probably just a couple months away from having approval on that, beginning construction and bringing sewer all the way down from Virgin to the Cottonwood Hollow subdivision and ultimately to that same Confluence Park treatment plant. We see a significant amount of construction going on right now, right by our lagoons there. If you've been down on Sand Hollow Road, you will notice a change. If you've been down there today, you may have noticed it, but essentially Sand Hollow Road is closed. And all traffic is now being routed around the Clampers project and up through what's the new Gateway Drive into the roundabout there. That will be that way for several months as they realign Sand Hollow Road and we do that. So traffic patterns have changed pretty significantly over in that portion of the county and Hurricane City at least, and we continue to see expansion out there as well. So a lot of things happening, and we see all good growth that way, and our developers are doing their due diligence and getting things in for our specifications, and so we appreciate their efforts and appreciate your efforts and support of us, Mayor Sid and Councilman Campbell as well, coming and attending and participating with us. So that's my report, unless there's any questions from the council.
I do have a question. Confluence Park, the pipeline that's coming around from the south and up the road, how's that coming and how much longer are you gonna be till that's?
The siphon pipeline right now is to the point, what we kind of call the choke point, the narrow point where the creek pitches up against the hill outcrop. And so from the construction trailer south, the road's actually closed. The park's closed off for the next little while. That'll probably take the next, I don't know, Matt, next week is that we have on our schedule? For about 2 weeks. 2 weeks. Yeah, Feller Construction will get past that in about 2 weeks and we'll be able to open that back up. That's probably been the biggest source of our complaints. We've had multiple people complain about removal of vegetation and things down in the park. And I can appreciate that. That's not a surprise. I think they might be relieved to know that the vegetation that's been removed is primarily Russian olives, cheatgrass, and primarily invasive species. As we get later into this fall and we're able to reseed, I think we'll see a lot better native species and other things get back in as we can get some winter water and rains to get that reestablished. But for the most part, that siphon will be done. The pipeline portion, I'll be working at the old penstock down by the power substation, but a lot of the disruption to the park itself will be completed in the coming month.
Perfect. Yeah, we just had some concerns. Had some people like go down there.
Correct. There's a lot of walkers and it's a popular place. And we fully intend to have it much better than it was once we're done.
Perfect.
How about the funding? Have you got all the funding that you need to finish that project?
We do have all the funding, so we have a combination of both the private bonding we did a year and a half ago, as well as our own reserves.
Okay, that's always good news.
Yeah. Yeah, Mike's the kind of guy that's not gonna start a project without having the money ahead of time, so we're good about that on the sewer district. All right, we're gonna move on to Hurricane Valley Fire, so Merlin is not here or anybody else. But while we're doing this, I want to bring up their 9/11. I'll probably bring it up again at the end of the calendar. They have a little celebration at the station, the station downtown Hurricane on the east side there. Yeah, there's the flyer there, 6 a.m. flag raising. They're putting their monster flag up off their ladder truck. I don't know if you guys saw it there last year. They've got pancake breakfast. They've got a lot of, it's going to be a really nice presentation for 9/11. So anybody from Tokerville, they got time to go over to that. It's well, they're doing a really good job for that in remembrance of all the firemen and police officers, first responders that we lost on that day. So if you can come and hang out and spend some time over there, that'd be great. So we're going to move on to Bob Lamoureux from Stanley Consultants, talk about our bypass road. Bob.
How we doing?
We're great. You tell us how we're doing.
Sorry, I'm a little late.
You're here.
I wish I had more of an update from last week. The work on the south side of the slope goes on, as you guys can see very well. They're also working on installing a gas line from the north. Looks like I saw some blue sticks out there, so I think they're getting close to starting on bringing that in from the interchange also.
Okay. How's the engineering on the north side of the state approved anything yet, or?
Nothing's approved yet. So I went with Jim Nordquist. We met with the UDOT Geotech group in Salt Lake last Thursday, 2 Thursdays ago. Anyway, we presented to them. We presented to them our latest idea where we could kind of steepen that slope up, leave the basalt material that we remove on the slope. That would allow us to keep that power pole in the location where it's at. On Friday, they responded with a memo asking a bunch of questions. So I followed up with Jim Norquist this afternoon, and he has it gotten through that memo to draft a response. So we're planning on talking in the morning. So hopefully I'll have a little more information tomorrow on what he's thinking.
Okay.
But
I just want to, if we can get there before JP's done with the south, it'd
Yeah.
be great. He can just.
I think that we can, and I think Jim can answer those questions that they have.
Okay.
They have that study that Jim started that study that they were talking about today. This Cameron was talking about.
Yeah, so Cameron today asked about the geotech report, and he has started working on it, but he's not gone very far on it. So
Okay.
That's one of the things they're looking for from both sides of the cut. They need that report.
Okay.
UDOT does.
All right.
they just want the formal report. So
Have we heard anything on the pocket of sugar sand?
same thing. I haven't heard. I think there was a part of that memo that addressed that. So hopefully I have a little bit more information tomorrow. But
All right.
I told everyone about the fact that we needed to get a direction, before the end of the month. And so I think they're all aware of it. And even Cameron said today that he's interested in keeping that moving also. So hopefully,
I'm hoping the end
it's
of last
worked out.
month, right? Not the end of this month, the end of last month.
Yeah.
I don't want to give another 30 days. That's all. I just want to make sure we're not giving another 30 days. I want to.
Do we have a meeting tomorrow morning?
We do not have a meeting tomorrow. We just didn't have anything worth
Discussing.
for. So, yeah.
Okay.
Anybody's got questions for Bob?
Another week?
2 weeks. He'll be done.
3 weeks a month? That south
Something
side.
like that. Yeah.
Last time you were here, you said a week and a half.
Did I?
That's what he was told, but can't shoot
Yeah.
messenger.
That was some
Yeah.
pretty wishful thinking there.
If I can move the rock, but I just
scissors.
tell you guys what they tell me. So,
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
I think by the end of September, they should be done with the south side. That's kind of the deadline that.
in a
we're
way,
trying to-
it's better at this point because we're not ready for the north yet.
That's right.
So we want to make
Yeah.
sure they synchronize.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good deal.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to move on to Public Safety Director Jason Levitt. Come on down.
Thank you. Happy to be here. Thank you for having me. I'll keep it short tonight. I had a very nice week-long vacation last week, and I'm very proud of that. It was pretty exciting. So,
Yeah.
pardon?
Trying to make us jealous.
Maybe a little,
I
He's
did too,
semi-retired, so I wonder what he's vacationing from.
maybe a little Colorado. I was
Yeah.
at 13,000 feet a couple of times, and it
Nice.
was amazing. So I didn't get a lot of work done that week, but this week has been pretty busy. To start out, I'm focusing on some trees and shrubs. JD sent me a list a few weeks ago of, I think, 38 locations where we have trees below 13 feet encroaching upon our roadways and shrubs and trees below 8 feet. And so I'm going to focus on the ones that are a safety issue primarily for our kids that are making their way to the school bus stop and back. I've already reached out to several through letters and just knocking on doors. And I will say, I am just so grateful for the responses that I've had. People have been just so happy to help out and compliant and cheerful and grateful. So I'm just grateful to be here and have such nice people to work with. I did want to address one incident, and I'll be very sensitive about it. I don't want to give any details, but I'm sure that several people in this room have heard about the incident that happened last week. There was a vicious dog scenario, and the sheriff's department was involved. The reason I bring it up is for a couple of reasons. The sheriff's department did what they needed to do, and that was their response was appropriate. But I'm pressing for a permanent solution for one specific animal that has been a problem in a couple of different scenarios. I've done a grammar request with the sheriff's department to get those records so I can have a file. So in the event that we need to do a court order seizing of an animal, we'll have what we need, the evidence to put that together and make it happen. It looks like we're going to be able to work around that. There's several other scenarios where we can send that dog away to people that are willing to take it. The other reason I bring that up is because it has shown me that there's a little bit of a hole in our program with regards to public safety. I need to have dog catch equipment. I need to have some training to be certified in this state. I'm certified in another state, but I don't have the equipment or the training to be certified here. So I'm working on that. I brought it up with the city manager in our staff meeting, so we're aware of that. I don't want to stand here and ask for money for stuff. But if this was somebody's child, but, and I'm gonna poke at the soft hearts. If this was somebody's child, this time it was somebody else's dog, and because that dog was on a leash, there was a wrist that was injured, minor injuries. But if this was somebody's child, or heaven forbid a baby or an elderly person or something like that, I mean, we just can't have that sort of thing happening. So I need a dog catch pole, and I need at least a kennel or two. I'm still using my personally owned vehicle to do the job, which is okay for now. But I'm going to seek some training. I'll get it approved with the manager. And I guess if it comes before this body, I'm perfectly happy to talk about that and justify the training that I'm going to seek and the equipment and all that.
It'd be great
We'll do
to
it as
get
quickly
it.
as possible.
It'd be great to get a total for the training and all the equipment you need, and then get it to the manager and see where we can allocate the funds from.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we'll do that.
So question,
Yeah.
if there's a 911 call in for help, you're closer to the situation. Would they get a hold of you, or would you be aware of that call?
So as of right now, the way we're structured, all 911 calls are going to go straight to the sheriff's department. They're going to be the sole responders. I'm still working with Jason Whipple. We tentatively set September. I'm going to get with them. They have a surplus of radio communication equipment, and he has volunteered to put me through a little bit of training and then give me 2 of their county's radios so that we can be on that multi-network
Okay.
system. So that's not gonna say I'm gonna get the 911 call.
Right. But you'll hear it.
I'll hear it.
Yeah.
And I might be able to get eyes on the scenario before they get here.
Okay.
I'm not gonna intervene, obviously, in criminal stuff.
Yeah.
But that gets us as a city one step closer to being able to take care of our own business.
Okay. You're way ahead of me.
Okay. And that's about it for this week. Does anybody have any questions for me? I'd be happy to answer.
Doing a good job. Keep it up.
Okay,
Thank you.
okay, thank you.
All right, JD, let's talk about Public Works, all the awesome things you guys are doing.
All right. So we've been pretty busy, have a few things. I know previously Afton's talked about the lead and copper report that we submitted to the state. We just barely submitted that last month and they approved it. Like I was mentioned before, that was paid for by a grant. So that's been accepted and that's completed. We didn't find any lines that needed to be replaced under their category of replacement requirements. We also just did our disinfectant byproduct samples and those came back good. So far this year, we've done 17 water leaks. We had 2 more pop up today.
So, yeah, can I stop you on that one real quick?
Mhm.
Do you have the one on Staghorn?
Yes,
Okay. 1467 Staghorn?
Yep.
Okay.
that was a good 3:30 call. I was like,
My brown Santa guy sent me a picture.
oh,
So UPS drivers all over town, they always send me pictures of things here and there, so.
they're the
It's
ones that would
kinda
find
nice
it.
They're kind of nice having, all of them have my phone number and they just send me pictures and stuff, so.
Say brown Santa?
Brown Santa, he's got a brown shirt, brown truck, brown Santa, he brings gifts every day. So, what you guys think?
Got it.
Get your minds, anyways.
Yeah, that's on my list to do tomorrow. So that's
Perfect.
first thing in the morning. We're taking
Perfect.
care of that.
Oh, my Lord.
Looking.
Kind of threw me off there for a second.
Yeah, that's okay.
So like I said, we've done 17 leaks. 8 of them were in July by themselves, so July was pretty busy. Gage and Emily have been working on the cross connection. That's going to be passed off to Mary now. They have the letter pretty much finished. They have to run, or they ran past legal, but they just have a few things they need to tidy up before we start sending that
How
out.
many do we think we have? Houses that have cross connection or possible cross connection? You have any ideas?
I don't have a number at the moment.
Okay.
We're going to kind of send out an email, and which ones we don't have emails for, we'll send out a letter
Okay.
and go from there. And whatever the responses come back, then we'll kind of take it from there. We've also obviously have a Badger AMI meter system. So right now we have it set up to notify residents if they have a leak over 10 gallons an hour. So we check on that quite frequently, and then we set up the leak alert to let the residents know. And just to remind everybody, we do have the Eye on Water app. So if you don't have that, I highly suggest getting that to help save
So
money.
my,
on your
my
water bill.
neighbor that's not here, he's here half the time. He's sure happy about, Dole, I know you've worked with him. You and Gage, anyways, he's had a leak and he's been finding it. He found one leak, he found another leak. So he loves the app.
Yeah.
Absolutely loves the app. He can tell exactly when he's losing water. So it works really good.
It's a good way to try and hurry and catch it before
Yeah.
it gets
Before it gets too big.
Too big.
Yeah.
So then me and Gage last month went and got traffic control certified. So just learning how to put out cones properly and set up signage and the distances needed. We're also working on a sidewalk audit around town that kind of correlates with the trees, try and get those trimmed up and kind of getting an idea of how much it's going to cost and maybe come up with a plan to take care of that in phases. And then with all the water leaks, we have been doing the asphalt patching ourselves. So far, we've done 16 tons of asphalt. Laverkin's kind enough to loan us their asphalt roller. So that saved us quite a bit of money. And last year when I was doing asphalt patches, they would range from about $3,000 up. So we've saved quite a bit of money by doing
Yeah,
it
let's
ourselves.
talk. I know we talked about that roller. If Laverkin ever wants to sell it, or if they ever decide to sell it, let's bring that to us before they part with it. Cause I know we've been borrowing it. We don't have one, but if they're, if they're not using it, right? They just sit there and basically we use it and they store it.
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Yeah.
They're nice enough to store it for me. So,
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't really want to spend the money, but I'd rather do that than have to rent one every time they rent one. So
Yeah.
if they ever decide they want to part with it, let us know, bring a number to us.
Yep.
So,
Yep,
Okay.
I'll keep it in mind. And then the only other things I have is the pickleball lights. I'm aware that the switch is broken and the electrician is coming out to fix it this week. So hopefully they'll be able to get a quick fix on that. And then it was brought to our attention that there was some issues at the park this weekend of some paint that got spilled in the pavilion and stuff. So if things like that happen or people notice major damage or vandalism, we have a phone number on the sign, so on-call water number. If there's a major issue, please call that and let us know so we can get taken care of. Other than that, does anyone have any questions?
you guys.
Thanks.
Oh,
All
that's
right.
awesome. Thank you, JD. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
And if you don't want to stay, JD, you don't have to. You've had a long day, but if you want to stay, you can hang out, but I'm not saying you have to stay. All right, we're going to move on to Planning and Zoning Administrator, Emily.
Okay, Darren and I are still working on that subdivision ordinance and the policy. So we're bringing that into compliance with state code. We're also reviewing it pretty closely to make sure that if there's anything else in there that needs to be changed, we can do that while it's in front of you. I'm still training Mary every day, working in licensing and permitting, and she's doing great. Planning Commission next week will be reviewing a few drafts, so you should see those soon. That's the ag zone ordinance and the light industrial zone again, and the final plat for Boulder Ridge. Other ones that I'm looking into is the time-limited parking, the wall and fence ordinance, the annexation policy, and some definitions for the building code. And that's what we're working on now, unless you have any questions.
You guys got anything for Emily?
Thanks.
Awesome, thank you. All right, we're going to move, Val is not here, so we're going to move into Darren, Assistant City Manager.
Okay, so really, some of the things that we've been working on, just to kind of give you guys an update on the JUC meeting. Just recently, we've had for the water district, they've brought plans through, have been approved through the zoning for, what do you call it? The floodplain administrator for the outfall line, the Topeka Reservoir. They have another project called Cottage Casa, that's coming from Cottage Well down Mills Lane, and then under the freeway ties back into the frontage road on the other side of the freeway. That's in preparation for being able to provide water to Anderson Junction, to Tokerville, to Leeds,
That
and all of that.
that water line's pretty, that can actually take water from Quail Lake out of the treatment plant and pump it all the way up here to the tank, and then they move it wherever they want from there. Or if we have extra water up here, they can run it all the way back down to Quail Lake. So it's a really vital pipeline. So.
And so, also some of the things that are going on, Boulder Ridge construction drawings, on the west side of the freeway, those plans are just about approved. There's a few minor things that they're getting with UDOT coordinating, because they have their offsite improvements that have to bring power from the other side of the freeway, as well as natural gas and all of that. That's gone through quite a few multiple reviews, and they're moving forward with that project. We will be seeing, as Emily said, we will be seeing the final plat as part of the subdivision approval process that we have right now. The other thing we have that we've gone through the Joint Utility Committee is the Rocky Mountain Power project from the Lurican substation coming over to the utility bridge on the Parkway. That will supply power up the Parkway to our new water tank. They didn't have that just approved. That short little project was not part of the Parkway our plans. So that's kind of that's how they're feeding the power from that southern Lurican. The other things that we're working on, let's see, waiting on the Rocky Mountain, you'll just get the water. So they're actually, Rocky Mountain Power says that they're hoping before the end of the year, they will have the transformers and everything ready to set to bring power to their water tank so that we can flush it and finish that project out. Getting everything cleaned out, pressure tests, tank leaks, those types of things that we get done. Then basically the Dixie Transportation Advisory Committee met today. Just kind of getting reacquainted with that process. It's been a while since I've attended that meeting, and looking at some possible planning grants next year, not this year. So with that, met with Sunrise Engineering, Ben and I met with them to go over kind of the projects that they have with us right now. They basically, as you know, they brought that water master plan to us. That's essentially done. They'll probably come one more time to discuss that. The city council will need to adopt that plan. That was the one where Vern came and talked about the different rate structures and all of the different pipelines that go throughout the city, different things like that. They also are working on a master transportation plan for us, a pressure zone study, which was kind of hand in hand with the master water plan. We're working also on the subdivision ordinance and the changes that are mandated from the state. We should have that adopted with Emily and myself and planning commission. You guys will see that. You saw Riker, I think it was last meeting, came and talked to you about the structure and how that will all come, and it needs to be, comes through the process. So we'll have that. We found a few minor changes we need to do so that we don't conflict with other parts of the code as we make these changes. And then the last thing for Chuck, and he already asked the question, there is no coordination meeting tomorrow for the Parkway. I don't know if you guys have any other questions for me.
I had a question, Darren, on the Boulder Ridge final plat. Is the developer looking to do a bond and get the plat recorded?
Yes. He'll do that. So we'll go through the approval process, but before he can go on, you'll need to do your review, and then he'll have to do that 110% bond to record the final plat. He is looking at selling that. That's typically not our process. We've always let them, just like what Firelight is doing right now, they let them put the improvement. So we go through preliminary plat, construction drawing process, approval process, and then final plat approval process. And then at the same time, they are building the infrastructure. And so you see that right now. So the final plat is approved and reviewed by the city, by the staff, by the different entities that it has to have. But it will, before it records, the the attorney will take his last review. And the reason why we don't record it typically before the construction is done is sometimes things happen during construction that something might change that would affect that final plat. If we recorded it beforehand, there's a chance that you could amend, you have to amend it. And that's the risk that Jerry used. We found some fun stuff in reviewing our ordinance, our subdivision ordinance. We do state that there that you must record the plat. We have not procedurally done that. A lot of the cities around the area do not require it. One way or the other, that you have the option to record it or put your infrastructure in first. If you do record it first, you have to bond for the improvements of the entire subdivision up to 110% of whatever that engineer's estimate is to install that. So kind of some things we're changing, we're gonna look at, and get through with our subdivision ordinance as well. But yes.
Thank you, that's helpful.
Long answer, so short.
And as you pointed out, that's typically not the norm. So we just want to make sure we're paying close attention with that final plat application, the bond being posted.
So they have made that application. It'll be seen next week on the planning commission. So it'll be next week on planning commission, and you guys, as per our final plat application, and you guys do see it too. So there is no public hearings at that.
Okay, anything else? Any questions for Darren? Ben, so anybody in the audience here that hasn't met Ben yet, Ben's our new city manager, Ben Billingsley. So Ben, we're up to you, your city manager report.
Yeah, it's very exciting. This report will probably be brief.
Perfect.
It's been quite a week and a half. I would have expected quite a backlog with the vacancy. Happy to report that Darren really pulled his weight. There weren't too many things that we had to triage, but we got prioritized what we needed to on operational items and really getting up to speed pretty quickly. Working primarily on understanding one of the key things that I wanted to get digested really quick was the budget and kind of the financial priorities of the city council and the city. Familiarize myself with a lot of the capital projects going on. Relative to the size of the city, it's quite a bit, quite a lot going on for a city this size. And also spent a lot of time with JD understanding our current infrastructure and the strengths and weaknesses of the current infrastructure. So I'm excited to do some long-term planning and kind of get my feet under myself and get familiar with this great community. So thank you.
Okay, that was nice and brief. We like that. We teach that to Darren. No, just kidding. All right. Sorry, Darren. I feel bad. That's twice now. I've hacked on you in a public meeting. So, all right, we're going to go to city appointed representative reports. This is new. So Hurricane Valley Fire District. So this is me, the mayor part. So Hurricane Valley Fire next week, not next week, but the next meeting in 2 weeks, we're actually going to have a presentation on their proposed truth and taxation, on how they want to fund their district for the next however many years. They're really trying not to do truth and taxation. So they've got a really good plan if we get the state legislature behind us on that. So that's coming up in 2 weeks. We're going to talk about that, and they're going to start doing the truth and taxation in October. Ash Creek Sewer District, Mike was here. He gave us a good report on that. The DTAC, the MPO, we're just talking about all the roads and stuff going on in the county. As Darren said, there's some funding we're looking for next year for some studies for us. So the nice thing about the DTAC they'll actually give us money for a lot of our transportation plans and stuff like that. They'll actually give us some grant money for that, which is really nice. So Joey, I don't know if you want to report anything on the sewer district. Mike's done it already.
There, he did a great job.
Yeah, great. Todd, do you want to chime in on solid waste and mosquito abatement?
Sure, Mayor. Solid waste, the infrastructure project, they were hoping to have it done by the end of 2024. Looks like that's going to be pushed to 2025. Still working on a way to capture methane gas and turn it into electricity. And then they purchased a new semi-tractor so that you can go out and collect from the recycle bins and stuff. As far as the mosquito district for Washington County, 31,826 mosquitoes, 0 West Nile. Specifically in Tokerville, they caught 3 mosquitoes on 8/28, and that was along Ash Creek by Center Street Park.
Banana that one, 'cause I killed.
And our residents can call if they need service, if they see mosquitoes.
Hey, Todd, real quick on the solid waste, are they still trying to get a new scale house and all that going?
That's what they're working on. They were hoping to have that all done by the end of 2024. Looks like it's going to be now into 2025.
On the construction or the design work?
The construction, they're under construction. They've had some construction delays with material, things like that.
Perfect. Perfect. I know we didn't talk about that. I think, Ben, did we talk about that when you were in the solid waste, that new scale house?
We're kind of in the early stages of it. It's
Exactly.
the building's framed now, so.
Okay, I haven't been out there for a while. I've been in the dump, so. Hey, thank you, Todd. Do you have anything else you want to add in?
Nope, that's it.
All right. Well, we're going to move into our public forum portion of the meeting. This is where anybody can stand up and talk about anything that's not on the agenda. You have 3 minutes, and please state your name. Please state your name.
Lynn Williams, 1075 East Ramos. In Tokerville here, we have at least a couple of signs that say engine brakes prohibited, or not prohibited, restricted. I need to know who in the city I need to go see to find out what that means. Or unless somebody wants to field the answer now.
Attorney? Matt? Restricted, prohibited?
You're talking engine brakes, right?
Yeah, Jake brakes on.
Engine
semi.
brakes restricted is what the sign says.
Yeah, I'll just refer you to the traffic safety code for the state of Utah. In terms of any definition, I don't think the city would have anything more specific than that.
Jason, what do you got?
I can possibly shed some light on the subject with regards to my knowledge of traffic law in the state of Nevada. I'm sure it mirrors Utah's. That has to do with the engine brakes on semi trucks.
I know what Jake brake is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You can't use
The
it.
term restricted, what does that mean?
Does that mean prohibited completely? or-
Prohibited, or only, you can only use them half the time on Tuesdays and Thursdays?
It just means you don't get to use them while you're in this jurisdiction. Between these two signs, you don't get to use them.
I think a lawyer, but we have one here, I think a lawyer might disagree with that.
I don't have
Restricted
any,
does not mean prohibited.
I don't have any additional comment right now, other than what the Utah traffic safety statutes.
Okay, and they use it, as far as you know, they use the term restricted there. I've seen prohibited signs. I understand what prohibited means.
Right. Yeah, I can't say I've read that and could answer that right now. I'm happy to look at it, but as I sit here, I don't have the answer.
It could be in a truck driver's manual that says you can't use it between these hours.
Well, I don't have a truck driver's manual, so.
Well, we'll look into it. That's a good, because I have heard, I always thought it was no Jake brakes allowed going down the S turn.
Well, yeah,
But I would rather them use it than run somebody over, but I'd rather them not use it at all. So.
Okay, so
We'll
look
look
at
into
it.
that. Absolutely.
Thank you.
All right.
So when they use it, you gonna run catch up?
No. I mean, that's just it. If the sheriff was there, I'm not, but yeah.
That's the only chance you have.
Dog catcher pole might come in handy.
Jason's a big boy. I think he can stop that truck with a dog catcher pole. All right, anybody else would like our public forum? All right, we're going to move on to our public hearing portion. This is a public input is sought on our preliminary plat application for Firelight Phase 3, submitted by SRC Land Holdings, located at the intersection of Honey Mesquite Drive and Trailhead Drive. Tax ID number T313330 PB1. Current zoning is R120 single family resident. This public hearing is open. All right, we're going to close this portion of our public hearing. We're going to move into item H1, business item. Discussing possible appointment of Tokerville City Deputy Treasurer. So Ruth is our treasurer. Hannah has been training treasurer quite a bit. Ben or Darren, would you like to talk about this?
Yeah, I think the first thing I'd mention is there's no budgetary component of this. It's simply what it enables is a redundancy in the treasurer position when the treasurer is not in the office.
Yep. just covers us one more layer deep of coverage if Ruth takes a week off and Hannah can do the job. So,
City code allows this.
so it's super simple. Like I say, it's not giving her a raise, just giving her more responsibility.
Answer my question right there.
Yep.
Mayor,
make a
so
motion.
she said just redundancy then, what that is.
Mayor, I'd make a motion to appoint Hannah Bowling to the city deputy treasurer position.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion on this item? All in favor?
Aye.
Any
Aye.
opposed? Thank you, Todd. All right, that is approved. Let's move on to item H2, discussion and ratification on a phone vote taken August 22nd. This is modifying the approved MOU with Firelight Development to shift the exception for construction on a model home from lot 4 to lot 71. So you guys voted on this over the phone, super simple. We just need ratification.
Who made the motion?
Gary, did you make the motion originally?
I believe I did.
Yeah, would you go ahead and make that again tonight?
I would go ahead and move that we go ahead and ratify the phone vote that was taken on August 22nd, modifying the approved MOU with Firelight Development to shift the exception for constructing a model home from lot 4 to lot 71.
I believe I seconded, Mayor. I will second that again.
Thank you, Todd. All right, any further discussion on this item? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, moving on to item H3, discuss the possible action on waiving the town hall rental fee for Tersa Stewart on All Hallows Eve Tocqueville Storytelling Festival. So you're doing this on Halloween night?
On Halloween, yeah.
Perfect. It's a Thursday or a Wednesday?
Oh, actually, I don't know what it is
Okay.
this year, but
Yeah.
It might be
yeah.
a Thursday.
I think
It's on the
Wednesday or
31st.
Thursday. It's on the 31st. Thursday, perfect. And we're having our festival on the Saturday before, so. Okay, so you want to have a storytelling festival?
yep, same as last year. We just got started nice and small. Want to keep doing this every year, of course, and I'm wondering if that's a possibility in keeping with the city standards here.
Are they spooky ghost stories?
Oh, they're ancestral stories. So some of them are spooky and some of them are all kinds of other things. So yeah, we had some good, funny stories last year.
Do you know what your turnout was last year, to recall?
Yeah, it was like 30 people
Oh,
at our max. So
Wow.
it wasn't very, very big, but we only advertised in the small towns right around here. And just considering all the competition that's going on that night, we've decided we're going to expand. We're just going to make it a Southern Utah advertisement thing. And
No
hopefully
charge?
we'll get more people, especially from, no charge. It's free. Yeah. We tried to sell our pomegranates. Maybe some of you donated. Thank you very much. We sold 8 of them. So to try and fund it. But so anyway, this just takes less out of my pocket putting it out on there. But yeah.
Good, thank you.
All right.
Mayor, make a motion to approve business item H3 to waive the town hall rental fee for the Halloween or Hallows Eve Tocqueville story.
Can I pause you? Sorry. Are we going to have to do this every year? Is it possible to just make this something that we
I
can
don't know what the
approve
rules.
yearly or?
It's just for nonprofits or
Right.
Girl Scouts, Boy Scouts or city-sponsored events. So it's not specifically a city-sponsored.
Right.
I have to ask you.
And it's not technically a nonprofit because we're not organized to that degree. It is a free
It's a free. you're not-
event.
you're
No one's making
money.
any money here,
We'll
right?
probably have to just keep asking.
Okay.
And you don't really have to show up if you don't
Okay.
want. Every year we'll just throw it on the agenda and as the city council changes, though, they might say no.
Okay.
But with this group, we'll probably keep saying yes.
That's all right. I
So,
appreciate it. Thank you.
So, but anyway, maybe.
I'll
Joey, you're gonna
second.
make a motion.
I made a motion.
Okay. You second it? Any further discussion on this? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, thank you.
Thank you.
How's the house coming?
Oh, so well.
Good. Slow. It
Thank you all. Many
It
of
takes
you did.
a lot of time to build a house.
Mhm.
All right, item H4, discuss the possible action on preliminary plat application for Firelight Phase 3, submitted by SRC Land Holding located at the intersection of Honey Mesquite Drive and Trailhead Drive, tax ID number T313330 PV1. Current zoning is R120 single family resident. So there it is on the screen. We just had our public hearing on this, no comment. Do you guys have any questions?
On that?
Oh, yeah. You guys are,
Application was complete. JUC did an initial review of it, and there were some comments, nothing that needs to be fixed at the moment, but, yeah.
So also, does everybody understand where this is at? Phase 3. You can see on the map there, the existing phases 1 and 2 are just to the bottom of there's Daisy's circle on that. Those are the ones that they're building, almost just right around the corner there is where you approved that lot to be.
lot 71, yeah.
On it. And then they've also have approval on the community center for the Firelight communities. They have not started to build that yet. But they've gone through the entire process on all of these.
So in the JUC, sewer district have a problem when there's no sewer on Firelight Drive and manholes,
So
or?
they are putting it in right now. There's the off-site sewer that was actually approved about a year and a half ago. The Ash Creek Sewer District, as well as all the other utility companies, look at those plans and sign off on them. For right now, it will be a easement that the sewer line will be in, which will be in a future road. We made sure that they placed that so that it'll be on the correct side of the road when it goes built. In Tocqueville City, we have a standard where we like the sewer and the water to be on opposite sides of the road, as well as power and natural gas and the easements. So we made sure that that was a good thing. And they did make a comment that on that north road, I can't really see.
Juniper?
Yeah, thank you guys. The Juniper Road that they haven't shown there. So as part of the requirements, they show proposed and existing utilities. The existing sewer line doesn't come down to that, it doesn't connect in right there. That was their only comment from the sewer district. And obviously, this is preliminary plat. So as we get to the construction drawing phase, they'll have to put that in. Ash Creek Sewer District will do their review of the plat, of the construction plans, and they will have to approve those before we
So
move on.
if someone moves for approval, including the JUC recommendations, you expect all of those to be compliant?
Yeah, you could probably make, if you were to make a motion, meeting all of those.
Oh, yeah, this is preliminary plat, so, it's preliminary, and then they make sure they go through, do all that stuff before they come back for final plat, so.
Yeah, there would be no.
It's part of the trip, yeah.
issues with putting a condition on
Yeah.
by any means.
I might be incorrect about this, but I think the way that the MPDO reads is that you have to have lots that fit the same size as we have. So we don't have an R18 in our zoning. It can use smaller?
Phases 1 and 2 are much smaller than.
Well, I mean, just in an MPDO application, it has to use all the current zonings or all the current regulations we have. So maybe I'm only thinking uses, sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, the uses.
Specifically called out.
Yeah, okay, sorry. No, I corrected myself on that. Yeah, the setbacks are, that's all different. And then the next thing, I thought we were going to try to do like a running total of ERUs somewhere. Does someone keeping track of the ERUs?
We will on the, I think it's over there on the side. It does talk about the ERUs on the left side of the map. It talks about that there's 10, right there.
Yeah, 10 lots, but I mean, so what we were talking about doing is.
Remaining is 3,225.
Yeah, it says right there.
Yes, they are.
Where's that at?
Boy, they're getting close.
Yeah.
On the left?
So they're showing how many there are in each phase, so they've actually got the Tocqueville Hills in there as well, subtracting out.
Document 3, okay. Page.
In the lower right corner.
Got it. Thank you. I just missed it. I kept looking on the left side the whole
We
time.
do kind of keep looking for those things as well as like all the other stuff that's required on the other side as per preliminary plat. Requirements. And they do name the roads.
The roads, the names, yeah, they weren't.
There was one time where we go,
Yeah.
was it Lane Olson Drive?
Yeah, you have more than 3,400 ERUs, don't you, Clark?
Well,
Yep.
Well, that's-
before the bonus.
That's before the bonus.
So
Yeah.
if we hit our bonus density, then it's up, you know.
Yeah, they're starting with the legitimate number, then as they get things done, they can get a bonus.
As they build
Improve,
out,
yeah.
As they build out parks and trails and things like that, then those density bonuses will go get
Yeah,
up.
gotcha. Copy. Thanks. That's all my questions.
Anybody else have any questions? All right, I just need a motion.
Okay, I'll go ahead and move that we go ahead and approve business item H4 related to the preliminary plat application for Fire Lake Phase 3, along with the JUC recommendations.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion on this item? All in favor?
Aye.
Any
Aye.
opposed? All right, we are going to move on to item H5, discuss the possible action on resolution 2024 Constitution Week proclamation. So this is, every year we proclaim that we follow the Constitution of America, United States of America. So it's pretty easy, I think most of us are constitutionalists here. We are a republic, not a democracy. I like people to know that. So
What's the difference?
what's the difference?
Just kidding.
Well, you want to know? I can explain it to you. So I just need a motion to proclaim.
Hey, Mayor,
Yes, Todd.
are we gonna try to ring the bells on the 17th like we did? I think we did that last year. We rang the bell in the old
think that'd be
town hall
great.
church.
That'd be
If you
great.
can walk, you're already, we just nominated you for it.
Yep, that's your job. You got like 13 days to get walking to ring those bells.
All right, I'll work on it.
Perfect. All right, Chuck, you were gonna make a motion.
I did.
Okay, we're gonna make a motion and Joey seconded it. Any other discussion other than ringing bells? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Perfect. All right.
Just a comment, not necessarily tied to the agenda item. If you're familiar with Eric Dowdle and his puzzles, he has a quest that for the bicentennial celebration of the Constitution, he's trying to do as many cities and towns and communities across the United States as a way to commemorate 200 years of having the Constitution. I know Washington City had their puzzle, their artwork done, and that was probably about April and May in Reeville. I don't know if Tokerville would be interested in,
I think that would be
in
pretty
doing
big.
something
I've
similar.
seen his puzzles. They're
Dell, how do you do DOWEL?
DLE, yeah.
DLE.
It's just the idea of trying to capture folk art.
Yeah,
There's
St.
plenty of
George
things.
has one. I think my wife, we put that one together. I didn't know Washington had one.
Yeah, that was just released. So that's a specific project he's trying to do. I don't know any more specifics other than that.
Daisy, you want to find some information on that for us? That would be great.
That's cool.
Yeah, there's some scenes from Washington's puzzle.
That'd be kind of neat.
Yeah.
All right, thank you. All right, we're gonna move on to discuss the possible action on resolution 2024 PTIF designation. Darren, is this you? Oh, this is Ben. Perfect. That's right, this is money.
This is just another procedural item with a new city manager appointment. So the state treasurer's office requires a formal resolution to come before council for additional PTIF signers. This is kind of actually similar to the treasurer. This is redundancy for our treasurer so that if if there's a vacancy there, or short-term vacancy, that we have some redundancy. So currently, I believe the signers listed would be, on approval of this, would be myself, Ruth, the treasurer, and Candace Tibbetts, who does our accounting.
Okay, so we've already had Ruth and Candace is on there, but we need to add your name on there, so.
And the deputy treasurer that we.
I don't think we need the deputy.
Excluded from this one.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Mayor, I'll make a motion to approve the resolution 2024.XX for the PTIF designation.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, thank you. All right, we're going to get into our calendar of events. Miss Tocqueville pageant is this Saturday, September 7th at Hurricane High School at 6:30 p.m. Community readiness meeting is coming back this month, September 12th, here at the City Hall at 7 p.m. Fall cleanup, Monday, September 23rd to Wednesday, September 23rd to Wednesday, September 25th. So I guess from Monday through Wednesday.
Thanks, Mike.
The dumpsters, I believe, will be down at the park this time, that big empty field. So JD's trying to keep the mess into one spot. I guess we've been leaving a pretty good mess around town with the dumpster spread all over. So we're gonna try it down at the city park on the east side of the river. So
One mess to clean up instead of.
one mess to clean up and one guy to sit down there with the backhoe and load everything in that needs to be instead of running around town and running the backhoe around town, cleaning up a mess.
So Mayor, how many, do we know how many,
Probably 4 or 5 like we normally get
I'm
dumpsters.
sorry, I'm talking about the Tocqueville
Oh,
pageant.
I know, I'm sorry. No, I don't know how many girls we have yet, so I can get a hold of Bailey tomorrow and
Yeah.
find out.
Just curious if.
Unless anybody knows. Okay. And then once again, the 9/11 tribute at the fire station in Hurricane, please come out to that. It'll be they'll have pancake breakfast. They have all sorts of goes on all day. They have food trucks later. So I think it's gonna be a great celebration.
Parking could be a little bit of an issue.
Yeah, the parking is gonna be tough. There's not a lot of room there, so we'll see how they're gonna address
Well,
that.
Peach Days was that way.
Yeah. So, all right, we do need to move into a closed session, so I'll need a motion for that.
Mayor, I'll make a motion to move into a closed session to discuss the character, professional competence, physical or mental health of an individual, strategy session to discuss collective bargaining, strategy session to discuss pending or reasonable imminent litigation, and a strategy session to discuss the purchase, exchange, or lease of real property, including any form of water rights or water shares.
Got a motion? Got a second? All in favor?
Aye.
All right.
All right, we are gonna take a 5-minute break and we'll get into this closed session.
Thank you.